All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have GSE, our graduate in 2004, Matthew. All right. I taught him, and you see where he has reached, right?
Oh, come on.
All right. And we have Douglas, his colleague also. We met at a conference. They're here to tell us about their company, what they do, and the technology, the opportunities. And all of the job offers that they have right now. So please follow up with them if you're interested. If you're not interested, keep their names and numbers so that, who knows, you might want to move on from wherever to their company. All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for the food. As you can see, they went way beyond the expectation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Andrew. How many were here? There's a few of you that I recognize from last time I was here. So again, the ones that don't know, I'm Matthew Roberts. Graduated in August of 2004 from Troy. Been with GSE, be 17 years in April. Currently one of the 5 partners of the company, operations manager. Douglas and I are tag teaming the survey department. He is out of our Nashville office, and I'll let him introduce himself to you in just a minute. But we, a little background about our company. We're full service engineering firm. Surveying is not a tiny part of what we do. We're probably, I'd say probably 15%, 20% of the staff is surveying, the rest engineers, all different kinds. This meeting, if you will, is just going to be us. We'll go through our website, look at a few things, and then basically just entertain any discussion, because we are talking about us, but Douglas and I have been doing this for a long time, obviously. So, any questions you guys have, we'd really like to know, not just about us, but just about surveying in general, and which is going to give us some insight too on where the market is and where you think expectations should be when you come out of college. How many in here are seniors? Oh, wow. Okay, good. That's awesome. That's going to be one of your largest classes, huh?
It used to be 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, Douglas, can you introduce yourself, please?
So Douglas Chen, out of the Nashville office. I've been surveying for 26 years, although I know I don't look like it except for my hairline. I appreciate you all entertaining us and having lunch with us. It's very nice to be here. This is the first time I've been here, but I did meet some of you at the fall conference. So there are some familiar faces. Essentially, I'm going to be transitioning into Matthew's spot down in Mobile over the next probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So, but yeah, we've been engaged in all kinds of surveying over our careers, everything from construction, boundary surveys, pretty much anything you can think of. At GSE, we do everything from industrial boundaries, houses, anything you can think of there as well. So any questions that you guys have here or after the course, my cards will be available, and feel free to reach out to me or Matthew at any point. But thank you. Appreciate you guys having us again.
Yeah, so like I said, we're a full service firm. On a day-to-day basis, especially with my role now, it is mostly HR and operations, making sure the company is running, make sure everybody's playing nice with each other. So we have, in addition to survey, we have civil, structural, mechanical, chemical, fire protection, let's say electrical, I may skip over that one. Code compliance, construction management. It is full gamut. And in addition to operations and surveying, I help manage a lot of the construction management. So we will, work closely with all the other disciplines to understand their needs and be able to help them when it comes to construction. And the reason that I that I'm explaining this to you is that if you have depending on what your interest is, if your interest is to be in this type of business, because how many were in the Hargrove introduction last week, but we're similar, we are competitors in Mobile. So we do the same thing, a lot of the same things. The one thing that we are not into yet, but we're transitioning into is a lot of drone surveys. That's something Douglas is working on. He's generating a plan, he's going to start doing a lot of that. We have 4 3D scanners down from our little BLK 360 beer can scanner to the RTC 360, the P20. And we got a little smaller handheld one. It's not working anymore. It's not for what we do. But we support all of our engineering side with scanning. That is something that we have found has been extremely beneficial, not just for us, but for our clients too. And, some of the challenges that we run into with that now, and y'all may see it too if you dealt with any of the scan data, is file size. So when you're doing this type of work, you have to have an understanding of what IT requirements need to be met when you're trying to store this data. We're currently upgrading all of our servers now to accommodate for the additional need for scanning. Something that we've gotten into in the past couple of years and is starting to take off is metrology. Does anybody know what that is? Like laser alignment, precision alignment. We bought a Faro laser tracker. It's I think the precision is 1/10,000th of an inch, and we use that in a lot of the steel mills. You go in, and if you've ever been in a big facility like that, there's a lot of real tight tolerances, and so we bought this machine to help with that. So we're not just a boundary total station GPS company. We do a little bit of it all, and want to do a lot of it all. So that's why we're talking to you too, because we would like to have, we'd like to offer some opportunities to you guys, internships over the summer. And Dr. Emmer, we can talk about co-ops. If we need to do something like that, we can look at that. Plus full-time positions. Right now, we could add 1 person in each office, Gulfport, Mobile, and Nashville. That's something that could happen right now. We could definitely use that. So we are currently using Civil 3D as our primary CAD program. Data processing through our scanners is like a Cyclone. If anybody had any familiarity, has worked with Cyclone before, but that's what we're using. Our laser tracker is a Faro laser tracker. It's something that, like I said, we're growing into that. So it uses a program called CAM2. And I know I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but the main reason is I want you guys to understand exactly what we do and what's out there. Because it's if you understand measurement, at the end of the day, a lot of what we're doing is angles and distances, right? I mean, you get a coordinate based on an angle and a distance if you're using a total station. So if you've got that basic understanding, you can see in 3D, a lot of what we do is easy to understand. We've done a little bit of modeling from the survey side. A lot of our point clouds are modeled within the structural department of our company, but we can do some of that too. I could sit here and talk about all the things that I've done since I've been here, but right now that's our focus. We're trying to grow. The metrology side is definitely going to grow. Scanning is becoming it's obviously never been a real way. And the drone part of our company, that's going to be the next big thing. And that's something, like I said, Douglas is working on that one. So right now we travel probably 20% of the time. Most of this, and it's mostly going into these major industrial facilities to assist with a shutdown or an outage, and just helping with the contractor or the facility owner. And, getting in, being greasy and nasty, and then, go to a hotel, have a steak, whatever you want to do. It's those type of things. So one thing that we will say, and Douglas will agree with that, is that, we work hard, but we play harder. Down in Mobile, there's plenty of opportunities. If you like fishing and hunting, things like that. Tennessee, if you like the Nashville scene, that, you got that too. Gulfport's got it, mostly just fishing, I would say. There's a mix for everybody. So, Douglas, if you want to add to anything, feel free. I know I probably covered a lot of it.
I think you're in pretty good shape.
I've done it a couple of times. So it's I'll entertain any questions. I'd love to know, what you guys are seeing, like some of the, I guess, what's some expectations that you have when you come out of college? Obviously, money's the big thing. Nobody's going to go work for crap. I mean, but is that, is a lot of it where you guys are looking to be more in the municipal sector, the state sector, or are you looking to be private, what's the consensus? Or do you have any idea? If you don't, that's fine too, just trying to see what's out there.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's like kind of what we're looking for is somewhere where we can get into a little bit of everything. And just kind of, like personally for me, like I don't want to become like specialized in one thing, and especially at the beginning of my career, so I think that's kind of what a lot of us look for.
So exposure to multiple things,
Right.
Multiple types of surveying to try to pick what you
find
want.
out what I enjoy.
I got you. Because that's one thing that we are not afraid of is trying.
We'll mentor you. We'll find out once you figure out what you like and want to do. We're really big at GSE on mentoring and putting together some kind of a program or at least discussions to help you get to where you want to be. And, just keep working on that growth and licensure and, everything that you would like to see happen in your careers. We want to help you achieve that.
Yeah, because a lot of, I would assume that everyone in here, the main objective is to get licensed, right? Is that what you want? So, and I can tell you that from experience and from being around, others outside of the program, you're right. What you're talking about is getting a taste of it all. You may get out of here and find something that you just really groove on that does not require a license, and there's no harm in that. But obviously, our profession is something that is continued. If you look at the differences, in age, the age gap that you're seeing right now, there's a big difference in age gap. So having a lot more licensed service it's gonna benefit the profession immensely to have more. And so that's good. I'm glad you said that, because when I started, I was given a robotic total station doing lot surveys. Personally, I don't want to fool with a lot survey residential. I don't want to do any of that. It's just not my cup of tea. I know where my skill set can be used, and it's in the industrial side, and construction staking, and helping build these facilities. And that's what I prefer, putting on my steel toes, my hard hat, and being right there in the middle of, guys setting anchor bolts this big around, it's just, that's what I like. And I learned that just like you. As we were growing, as I was at GSE, I said, I don't want to do these slide surveys anymore. So we changed. We got into what we're doing now. So.
Your history, can you give them an idea when you graduate, where did you go?
So when I was in college, I worked for Richard Keith at Wiregrass Engineering. And after college, I worked for him for 6 months, I believe. And then I'm originally from the Mobile area, or just north of there, actually. And so I got the opportunity to go to Gulf States at the time. Came back, and I started as just, like I said, when I hired on, they gave me a brand new robotic total station and a data collector and a folder stack full of lot surveys. And then my growth just started happening outside of that. We started picking up smaller projects, and nothing happens overnight. So one thing that I will tell you is that have patience. You will have in your career, you will be pissed off at some point. And there's nothing you can do about it. But just know that that is part of the growth too, because you're gonna understand what you like and what you don't like. And Douglas and I have been through it. You know, we have been through the ones, the clients that just drive you crazy, and the types of work that just drive you crazy. Like for me, lots of things I don't want to do. Now, Douglas, we've got, he does some up in Nashville, and he's got some guys that do it, and I've got guys that work for me that they love it. But personally, that's not what I like to do.
A little tedious sometimes.
Yeah, you know, and that's just the way it is. You pick your poison, if that's the proper term I could use. You know, you pick, you have the ability to carve your own path. And, you know, that sounded you know, y'all are coming into something fresh out of college. You don't really know what you like. You think what you like, unless anybody surveyed before. And until you do it, you know, I recommend you trying all different aspects, because it's the two things that I say two things, like the industrial side, I really like that portion, but also I have one client that keeps calling about the large landowner and just going out and with a GPS and flagging property lines for them in the middle of the woods, just no traffic, nothing, but you just worry about snakes, you know, mostly. And that, I mean, I like that too, because it's peaceful. It's worn out, but it's still peaceful. So, I know I can get a little long-winded too, talking, so, I mean, guys, feel free to ask any questions. I mean, we've got a lot of, you know, we've done a lot of this work. And, you know, any questions you may have about any sector of it, you know, just about answering any of it.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I know we had a company come and visit before and talked about they started working remotely because it started saving them some money, and I was curious, how is y'all set up? Like, do y'all have a home office you come back to, or is working remotely now becoming something that's more popular?
So here's the challenge with working remotely for us. It's especially when it comes to 3D scanning, data size. You know, we have a lot of, and this is another thing you think about with the IT side too, with our industrial clients, we have to be secure. A lot of the data, when you go to register or compile the data sets, you won't be able to do it through a VPN. Or, you know, you can use something like a log me in, go to my PC, something like that, where your computer can stay at the office. But depending on what you're doing, it really controls remote work. Because we do have the ability. I mean, everyone in our company can work from home if they want to. It's not something we push because obviously COVID caused all of that to change. But we are still of the myself and all of management feels that the face-to-face interaction that you have is invaluable. Even though you can get on Teams, you can see everybody, being right there where you can, you know, sit side by side and hash an issue out does go a long way. So I don't know if that answered your question, or not, but it's the big challenge for us is definitely with the point clouds because of the file size. Yes. Other than that, most of these, you know, text files, ASCII files that we get from topos and boundaries, you put Civil 3D on your computer and run with it, or work through a VPN.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, sir.
What's a typical week look like?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think there is such a typical thing as a week in surveying.
Yeah, most of our weeks are client driven. I mean, unless you get a big project. We have one large project going on right now, and we can pretty much say, you know, I've got one guy that's, I don't even see the guy. He just texts me, hey, I'm on site, hey, I'm gone from the site type of deal. So, but in construction, this is why there's not a typical week for us. In construction, you've got a client that calls and says, somebody, you know, on a D9 dozer just ran over my only benchmark out here, and you've got to go reestablish it. Well, You're, and we're down until you do it. So he's got 30 guys waiting on you to come set the benchmark. So you may get that call at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and have to figure out how to juggle to get out there and do it. So your day may have been an 8-hour day, but now it just turned into a 12-hour day. So that's obviously, most contractors are very understanding and wait till the next day or a couple of days. But that's kind of the idea there. There's really, our published hours are 7:30 to 4:30. I haven't worked that since probably week 2 of being there 17 years ago. So it's a lot of the client, whatever the client needs. And our positions are all paid by the hour. There's no salary, because you're going to get your 40 hours no matter what. And typically you'll have a little extra because if your mines work like mine and Douglas's do, if you got a little extra time there, you're digging into something that you may have seen being an issue or something that could come up to be an issue. Like having GPS problems, losing lock every 5 minutes. We suffered through the day, now got an extra hour. What is the problem? So that happens all the time too. I mean, we're not ones that set 40 hours is what you'll get, and we're not one to say that you're going to work 60 or 70 hours a week. And the way that I put it is, you're going to get your 40, there's no doubt. But if the work's there and you want to get overtime, it doesn't matter to me. Work 70 hours if you need to, if the work's there. Because I'm not going to force you to do anything, because of the way that I like to do it and Douglas likes to do it is, if you're working those hours, I'll be working those hours too. We'll be right there beside you doing it. And but that's not something that we really push for. If we get to where we're having to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, we'll be hiring people. So yeah, that was like a long-winded answer, but that's it. So.
What is how many interns would you guys be willing to take? And do you guys in the past, have you ever had like any kind of housing stipend or anything like that?
That's something we're working on now. Douglas and I, we talked about that last time, and I'll have to talk to my CEO about the housing stipend, because that's something I think we could work out. Right now, I think that we would want to have an intern in Nashville and Mobile. Gulfport, not unless somebody here just wants to work out of Gulfport, we can probably make that work. But most of our work is in Mobile and Nashville right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any problems with people getting their time for licensure, considering it's like heavy industrial, no boundary time?
I haven't run into that yet, because we're not, it's not 100% of our work. I know there's a few companies out there, that's all they do. And we won't ever be that way. But as long as the supervision is there, I mean, because you're still taking measurements, and if say I hired you, you go to an industrial site and you work for me for whatever time, but you're still doing boundaries, I'm still monitoring your work.
You still get time under a PLS and everything, anything
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, because I'm your manager.
Yeah, your employment package, give them an idea, health benefits.
So on an employment package, we offer, like everything's paid by the hour. If you're moving to somewhere near, we'll offer relocation expenses, a bonus, whether depends on the distance, but it'll be, we'll either, you either provide us receipts up to a certain amount, or we'll just cut you a check and tax you on a check, whatever works. If you just need insurance, health and dental for yourself, we pay for that. That's no cost to you. If you have family, kids, things like that, and it's, I think we pay around, is it Douglas, I think around 60%, something like that is what we pay. And you guys pay the other 40, and we get paid twice a month, so it comes out of each check. And I think it's no more than, the wife and kids, you know, full families, like $250 a check, so $500 a month right now. And, let's see, continuing education, all your continuing educations, any states you want to get licensed in, we pay for. After a certain amount of time that we feel like, you know, we feel like you're going to hang with us for a while, if you want to go back and get any other degrees, business, master, if you want to get your MBA, doctorate, whatever it is you want to do. No, we're not going to pay for, you know, like rock climbing or basket weaving or something like that. But, you know, if you want to go to, you know, jump in and get your MBA, or if, you know, I've had some that have gotten interested in getting a civil degree. You know, get your civil, you know, be a dual license, PE, PLS. More power to you if you do it, by the way. But, you know, with that option is there, and we will pay for that. So, for this, you know, we don't pay per diem. Everything's paid. You'll pretty much be given a company credit card if you travel for us. And we don't really, I guess we're really sticklers about that, other than, you know, just be smart about it. You know, you're not going to go to Ruth's Chris every night and get a steak. You know, you can go to Outback, you know, something like that. So it's company vehicles, provide all that. Any of the new, you know, when we put a new crew on, we'll buy all new equipment. One thing that we're working with now, Nashville is all Trimble. Mobile has traditionally been Topcon and Sakia, and we're making a transition over the next few years into most likely Trimble, whatever Douglas decides he wants to do. So that's the transition that we're making, that way we can all stay across the board with the same type of equipment. Let's see.
Matthew's going to leave that decision to me so that I can piss off all the field crews and the field folks and have a transition to something besides time. So thank you for that.
That's what I'm here for.
What do you guys typically use as a department as your training?
Got quite a bit right now.
We have Jihad, Trimble, Topcon.
So you have been exposed to several different things. I like that.
Yes, sir.
So tell you how old I am. When I was here, yeah, it was Topcon, and we used that HP 48 SMI data collector. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah, deep in the office, we get rid of that.
I mean, you get handed that, because I don't, has anybody ever seen those? I mean, you probably have them at the conferences in like a antique display case or something. Those giant orange hard cases that went around an HP 48, and everything was hand entered. There's no touch screen.
Yeah, that was.
I still got one of those in my top.
I've got my 48 too. Don't get me wrong.
COVID card.
We got the 35.
But that was
35, baby. Come on.
yeah. See, I've got the 35 too, but I could run circles around it with the 48. But yeah, so it was, and I think we had a Topcon they had come out with this, the base station ahead.
Yeah, that's when I was
It
going
was giant. It was like a radome or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a suitcase, a battery pack. I mean, you just get so hot.
Yeah, it's in the room there, and a trouble battery.
You still have it? And car battery.
No, what?
Yeah, you don't need to throw that thing. Yeah, so and actually that's what I did my senior project was the GPS project with that.
We have the guy from North Carolina. He came and he donated, well, loan us a Javad.
Did you use it yet?
Yeah. It's nice. It's really good.
So what constellation does it use?
All of them.
It uses GPS, uses Beto, Galileo, GLONASS. It has access to all, of them. And it has its own post-processing. It doesn't use Opus, it uses DPOS. So like, we're trying to figure out how we could do that with extended GPS shots on NGS monuments and stuff.
Base rover, is it able to go to?
They donated a base as well. So we were messing around with that.
And you can log on online and you can see exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, you control it on your phone.
We did it when at my internship. You can get the IP address. You're like trying to cook control instead of sitting out there. You just set it up, go sit in the truck in the AC. You're driving the GPS with your phone. So
There's another task for you there, Douglas.
Before you leave, I'll show you the equipment.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, because I mean, we go off, and Mobile, and, obviously Douglas and I are making the decisions based on the equipment that we've used in the past and what I'm used to. I mean, Topcon's always been what I love. Their optics got so much better after I've done them from here. They got a lot better, and we use that on a lot of our projects. And I mean, I've been interested about Javon because I hear like the great things like that, and then you turn around and talk to some other guy. And
There's always two sides.
Yeah, use it for a boat anchor or something.
Yeah.
So,
He came and he impressed. It's really good.
hey, I'm down for it.
And we didn't have to buy it, you see, it's a loaner. So every time you get a new version, you get the new version coming out. So.
Get him his card.
Yeah, he said Javon.
Promote him.
Is he the dealer dropped it off?
Javon doesn't have dealers, they have just surveyors that just use them.
Well, like ambassadors for it.
They're sponsored.
So
I met him at the conference and he said, oh, yeah, I need to fix you all up. Okay, cool.
So he did.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
came-
he
they came
knew what
back.
he was talking about, like, whereas some of the dealers are just like, press this, press this, press this. He uses it every day surveying, so.
They took us out, they set like different profiles, because they set one for if you're in the open, and then have one if you're in like thick canopy. And he took us out there under like a bunch of brush and was taking shots. And
Under cedar tree.
Really?
Mhm.
And it locked.
Yeah, it fit.
There you go.
We were using it in the lab the other day. I got a fix under a pine tree instantly.
I mean, I've cut down 50 trees around with a bush with a chainsaw. I can tell you, we chopped them down. This is back when you had to take the grinder after work and have to sharpen your hook.
Makes it grind around.
Yeah, exactly.
We definitely tear down some trees.
But now it's not even necessary, I guess. That's impressive. I mean, we're using our Topcon GPS system's a Hyper-V, and it works good, but it's nothing like that. I mean, y'all got, what is that R12? What is it?
R12.
R12?
Those are fast.
Yeah.
Use those.
And that's what the project we're working on down at the airport in Mobile. I've got my Mobile guys and Nashville, we got all the crews on this week working it. And we were talking about it yesterday, and I said, I need all these buildings shot too. What do you think the plan is, or what's our plan? Just go in there, it's got the tilt compensator on it, just go in
Compensator
there,
in there. Well,
lean off and shoot it. So I said, you need to shoot all the buildings before you leave then. So make life easy. It's good to know. I mean, I'm glad to hear that y'all are using that type of stuff. What about total stations? What all do y'all have here?
That's five. Couple, that's five.
That's six.
A handful of trembling ones.
M1s.
Robotic.
Usually what we use.
Yeah.
We got one Nikon.
Is that the Nikon that was here when I was?
No.
The blue band.
And then we got robots. Donated by NEI,
Yeah.
3 of them. And, it's pretty.
Yeah, their office, is it the one in Louisiana?
They donate, we bought a scanner.
The one you demoed the other day?
Yeah. It's easy to use. I
The
told
Trimble
look, I never
scanner?
used it before, but
So how is it? I mean, is it real time or phase based? I mean, there's two different kinds there. At one time, maybe it's not anymore.
the scanner.
I'm asking questions of you.
Remember I just picked it up.
I'll take a look. I'd like to see it. But yeah, it's because we've done both. We've had both. I mean, one just takes a lot longer, but we have the Leica P20 right now. And it's 6 years old, but it is just reliable.
So if a new employee, an employee comes in and say, hey, look, I'm familiar with this, would you all get him the equipment to?
Depends on what our benefit is, because at the end of the day, we have to analyze it from the financial side. Most of this equipment that I've seen now is if you know how to, if you have an understanding of what the output is, it doesn't take long to learn how to run it. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is, of what I've seen.
I
And-
tell them, you know, don't want to reinvent the wheel. There's some people who already know how to use this. It's going right.
But we're not opposed to it. No, I mean, if it's a benefit, if it can benefit us, you know, and speed it, and prove that it will speed the process, make us more efficient, we got no issue with it. Because I mean, that's a lot of what I do right now too with the operations is do have people come to me with things, not just a survey, but the company as a whole, and say, we need this, and they know that when they come to me, they got, it doesn't have to be a spreadsheet or some kind of giant presentation to be on the back of a McDonald's napkin for all I care. But, you know, just say, this is what it's costing us to do this, this is what we'll save, this is the cost of the equipment, software, whatever it is I'm asking for. And, you know, numbers are numbers, that makes sense. At the end of the day, it's that simple to me. So. But, and we're always trying, like I said, we're always trying new things. The drone side's gonna be something that, I think within the next probably year and a half, 18 months to 2 years, that should be something that will take up for us.
We currently only have one drone pilot license
In
in
Nashville,
Nashville.
yeah, I think we have 2 in Mobile.
What we have found is that a lot of our students, even before they graduate, they go and get their drone license.
Yeah. Not a bad thing to have.
It's
Because
a selling point.
we got a few small drones, but it's mostly, you know, aerial photography. I mean, that's what they want. They just, you know, some of our clients just want a picture, fly it up, you know, take a couple snapshots and send it to them. We've done a little bit with the LiDAR, and this was not survey grade, it was mapping grade. But I think all of that's obviously getting better and faster every time. So, anything else? I talked to you today. Okay, I gotta go and sleep. No. What's up?
Being down in like the Mobile area, have y'all ever got into any like hydrographic surveying type stuff?
That's something that we had a sounder for the longest time. I've been things from the 50s. But we've done some, yeah. And that's a tough market to get into unless you have a good connection with the Corps of Engineers. And if you are looking, if that's something that interests you, there's 2 people down there that I can put you in contact with. Has Zeke Hudson been here with Row Engineers? I talked to him. They're big with typography.
Not necessarily interested in it.
So I'm just telling you, if that's something that does interest you, you know, then definitely, I could, so, and then maybe I should say that too. I mean, obviously, we're selling GSE and we want y'all, you know, to come work for us, but in the Mobile area and Nashville area, Douglas and I both have a lot of contacts with a lot of the surveyors there, so if there's some type of market that we can't provide that you would like to find out more about, reach out to us there. You know, it's, you know, I was there, so I was sitting just like this, you know, in 2003.
It was quiet, huh? In one of the shops.
Until you started giving us crap about not knowing GIS. Then we had to get it.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. But,
Dr. Rammer.
we are happy to see how you progress and have developed and grown to, you know, a lot of the technology out there coming back to recruit these guys.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you miss school?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you like working there?
All right. I had to work the whole time I was in college. So I didn't get a lot of party time. So,
As opposed to being classroom time or sitting in your office at work, which one do you prefer?
that's tough. I gotta, so if and I don't want to deter anybody from growth or anything like that, but I think if I was just a survey manager, I'd like surveying. I like doing it. It's something that you know, there's always a challenge in front of you. You know, the challenge here is just, you know, whatever these guys are trying to drill into your head with
A challenge, all right.
They complain there's too much
call-
assignment, too much work. I said, wait till we start working.
Literally, two of us could just say, "Hey, that's a little out there," and then he's just, I didn't realize I have a class with a bunch of whiners.
Yeah, they said that to us.
Yeah. Look where you get him.
Being a
Why
whiner.
in school anymore?
I told them they're gonna miss school. It's a more structured environment, but when you start
I don't know.
working, you have so many projects, so many deadlines, there's no excuse to decline.
I don't
So many
hey.
projects and so many deadlines.
No, I will say, I mean, my time here was fun. I did have a good time. So I guess you just have to take the good with the bad.
Are you still in contact with anybody that you graduated with? Or are you
Yeah,
still?
I'm actually having lunch with one guy Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was about 5 of us that really stuck together and still do. I mean, I still keep in contact with a lot of those guys.
Rusty Blackwell, Rusty, ASPLS past president.
Yep,
I did some work with
Making
Rusty.
yep, you met Rusty.
Rusty.
Yeah, he just got some big race over there. He's big in the NASCAR.
Yeah, when he was here, his parents bought him the best truck, I remember.
Oh, yeah, because we all picked on him. Why can I have that kind of money when you get out? Yeah, we could do it. No, Rusty was great. Hunter Smith, him and another guy that actually worked with me years ago, they own a business in Spanish Fort. I haven't talked to Zach Dean in a while. He's in Howard City still.
Yeah, I think he came once back
Did he?
there.
And Aubrey, you remember Aubrey Martin?
Yes.
He's not surveying, he quit surveying in 2012. So this is a good, I'm glad we talked about him because he was sharp as a tack.
Yes.
And he's working for a steel mill in Tuscaloosa now, I think. So I'm gonna reach out to him.
You gotta make it happen for yourself when you graduate, you know? It's not gonna happen just like that.
But y'all are in a great field. Opportunities are endless and they're gonna continue as long as you keep wanting to grow. There's plenty of opportunity there. So I know we're probably gonna have to shut it down in a few minutes. Where's everybody from? I'm just curious what kind of Dothan,
Greenville.
Greenville,
Yes.
Gadsden.
And Helena, Alabama.
Highland Home.
Elba.
Probably
Oh,
Colquitt, Georgia.
where?
Colquitt, Georgia.
Troy,
Elba.
Ella,
Laverne.
Laverne. So everything's kind of spread out. A lot of people close. So the ones that are close by, Elba and Laverne, all that, y'all planning to stay in this area? Y'all want to branch out or what do you know?
I'm semi-close, but
Like
Looking
Montgomery or
branch, yeah.
something like
a
that?
little bit farther Montgomery, but semi-close. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. I was born went to Leroy High School. Y'all know what that is, but that's why I live in Mobile now, because there's nothing there. Brad Busby's another one. You remember him? Yeah, he's running town. Yep. He lives about a mile from my parents, up in the country there, so there's you can say, there's, do just about whatever you want with this. Are you going back to Foley?
I don't know yet. I ain't made up my mind.
Ooh.
What?
I don't know. I'm going, man.
Is that runaway?
Kentucky?
Get
I don't know. I'm going.
Right now, as hot as the market is, you can go anywhere you want to.
to.
Go anywhere you want. I recommend it, try it out.
Did he have license?
Alaska.
No, I was kidding. That's too
It's too
cold.
cold up there.
Too cold.
You'll be fine.
Kentucky's too cold.
Spoken like a true Gulf Coastian. Too cold anywhere above, what, about Atmore? That's what
Yeah, I don't like the cold.
Turn the heat on.
They make fun of me. I get cold in like 75 degrees.
Yes, Douglas has been, you've been in Nashville for how long? Y'all got all snowed in a few weeks ago, didn't you?
26, 27 years. We're still staring down snow for this year.
Y'all got him coming this weekend. Nope, she's going down. It's gonna be 20 degrees down here.
And so I'll say this too, another thing that we do, is, it's, when I say all work, I mean, we work hard and we play harder. I mean, we do a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting, a lot of, go hang out whenever, happy hour type deal, it's not like you go to work and go home, if that's what you prefer, that's fine. I mean, we do have, there's a lot of involvement. And this weekend, we're doing the chili cook-off downtown Mobile, we're gonna hit that Saturday.
Nashville office, we went out for a happy hour and took everybody that was not working remotely, whether structurals, the mechanical folks, everybody, just to go hang out for a couple hours and kind of set everything aside for the day. And not talk shop, so those are nice. It's a good morale booster too.
Absolutely.
Have a couple of PBRs.
There you go.
That's right.
Natty light.
Good old-
Everybody says that, I talk about that now, and they're like, you drink that? I'm like, "No, I wouldn't. It's cheap."
There you go.
Relive my college days somehow. Right? Get a 30-pack for
So
$5.99.
there you go. He's trying to relive those college days.
That's what he misses.
I feel it takes about 5 days to get over that now.
Well, you know, the gas, you might as well drink than drive.
Oh, what?
What did he say?
Just came over that. Better drink than drive.
Yeah, so that too, we do a lot of fundraisers, golf tournaments, fishing rodeos, things like that. So I mean, the one that we really like doing, we do it once a year, is go to Chandelier Islands off of Louisiana. That's a fun fishing trip. No cell service for 3 days.
Oh my God.
Put your phone up, don't even worry about it. All you're doing, fishing, eating, and drinking.
Scary for them, yeah.
You guys don't appreciate that just yet.
Yeah, that's what, you'll appreciate that once you get
Sure will. Get about 20 or 30 projects in front of you every day.
And there you go. How many projects? How many deadlines there?
They had 8 assignments.
You were
Like a few days
fishing
ago.
for some
I
kind
am
of family.
accommodated. I change the deadline with your, but these guys, when you have your clients, the clients expect it, that's all.
I know.
I got other people to help them
The
as
clients, and they got
You ain't gonna see anything, you haven't secrets yet.
So,
Hey, buddy, yeah. Look at the time. I got Libby out here.
I'll give you a hard time. That's funny. All right, well, it looks like we're probably out of time, so y'all come get whatever you want up here, take the food, I'm not taking any.
Well, thank you very much.
That's a long
Appreciate it very much.
Hopefully, we don't answer a bunch of questions.